Board of Brazos County will meet regular session on April 2nd, 2019, 10 a.m. Commissioners Courtroom in the County Administration Building, 200 South Texas Avenue, Suite 106. First item on the agenda is invocation of the Pledge of Allegiance to the U.S. and Texas flag, and I'll lead those. Father, I want to thank you for your love and your mercy to us. I want to thank you, Father, that we live in a country that we have the freedoms that nobody else has. Father, I want to ask that you would be with our first responders and our military as they're first on the line to protect our lives. I pray, Father, that you'll be with our leaders, our country, and our state, and be with us this morning as we make decisions for the county. I ask all these names in Jesus' name.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Second item on the agenda is to call for citizens' input and/or concerns.
Oh. Yep. I'd like to introduce the newest member of the Precinct 3 Constable's Office.
Howdy, how are you?
The
Come on
newest.
up.
Oh,
Judge, we'd like to introduce Diego. He is our newest member. He is a narcotics dog, and he will be going into full service by the end of this month.
awesome.
And if you're bored, we're going to have an open house on Wednesday, so please feel free to stop by and get to meet Diego.
Now, did I understand that he comes to us at no expense to the
Yes,
county?
ma'am. So we were extremely blessed. Diego was given to Brazos County through the generosity of many folks in Brazos County. So he came to the county at zero cost.
Thanks.
And he will not cost us anything in maintenance as well, because the generosity of local people.
That's correct. The veterinary services were donated by Dr. Lackey, so he'll be cared for by them. The food services were donated through the Harley-Davidson dealership, so his food is taken care of as well. So basically, the training, the animal, the structure, all of his well-being has been donated through the generosity of many. And as you can tell, that's his toy, and he's I have to smile. Diego's still fairly young. Andy, how old is Diego? 16 months. 16 months old. So he's still got a little puppy in him. He's a little spunky, so and he's getting used to being around people. This is the first time that he's probably been around large groups since he was brought in from Poland. Is that correct? Yes. He was hand selected in Poland. They're trained in Liberty Hill, right outside Austin, and he's strictly narcotics. He's not a patrol dog in the aspect that he bites. He just smells narcotics, and we're extremely blessed and excited to have him on board in Brazos County. You sure can. You sure can.
Oh, my God. He's a handsome.
And I'm pretty sure Diego is not going to get any bigger than this. Is that correct?
Yes, he'll gain a little bit of weight, but he won't get any taller or any longer. So as he matures, he'll start to put a little bit more muscle mass on him, but he won't ever get any bigger than where he is right now.
Great.
And also would like to take just a few seconds to thank y'all, because it just reminded me that had Commissioners Court and all the folks behind the scenes like Katie and legal, it wouldn't have been made possible. They helped us tremendously by allowing us to accept this grant and move forward with this project. We're extremely excited. Any other questions?
So who named him?
So Diego's actually has 3 names. When we were going through the grant process, his given name is Diego. The kennel named him Diego. But we wanted the folks that in the community that were, donating their hard-earned money to have some say-so in the animal as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so Dr. Lackey came up with the word Joseph. Joseph was God's father, and he said it was a gift from God. So Joseph was going to be in Diego's name.
Okay.
And then another kind donor that gave the actual cage system that goes in the patrol car so we can transport Diego, they had a pet named Amaya May, and Amaya May had recently passed. And so they thought, well, that's a great idea. We can give a donation to a great cause. but we'd like Amaya May. So his full name is Diego Joseph Amaya May. Because we're all about including everything, so.
Yeah.
But
his
no more names.
His
His names
call
are
name
cut
is
off now.
Diego.
Ma'am?
His call name is Diego.
Yes, ma'am. His name is Diego. On his collar, his name is Diego. Yes, ma'am.
Great. Well, thank you.
We
Thank
look
you
forward.
for
If y'all are
bringing him.
bored, come see us on Wednesday. Thank y'all.
Thank you for bringing him
reckon-
in.
Absolutely.
You think you ought to check this room out just to make sure there's not any drugs in here?
Well, the blessing judge is he did
Check out
not
the
lay
back
down. If he
row.
lays down, that's a
My
problem.
assumption would be is we would already be there.
Okay. Is there any other citizen input? Hearing none, we would go to number 3, presentation and discussion. Presentation by Gretchen Riley, Texas A&M Forest Service, and Jeff Lady, board certified arborist and owner of Plant People.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We're here to talk about the courthouse cedar, and I'm here as a guardian of the trees. I'm with Texas Forest Service, and we initiated the Famous Trees of Texas, the State Historic Tree Program, and the courthouse cedar was one of our founding members of the tree. If you've been by the courthouse in the last, let's say 20 years, but certainly in the last couple of years, you've noticed the tree is in very poor health and very poor condition. Or it's just a remnant of its former glory. So last fall, it was leaning significantly, and I believe the county asked for a board certified master arborist to come and do an assessment. And I'm going to turn the mic over to Jeff and let him tell you just what he found and some of the recommendations that came out of this.
Thank you. Jeff Lady with Plant People here in College Station. So I investigated the tree, and what I found was that there is a decay at the base of the tree that spreads approximately 45% around the circumference of the base, which has caused the tree to begin to lean. A brace pole is there under the tree. The brace pole that is there is not supported in the ground, and that was done initially years ago. I was part of that group that recommended putting the post underneath it to give the tree a little more stability. We didn't want to interfere with any roots or damage any roots there on that side of the tree, since it at that time was not falling, or we couldn't tell that it was falling. We just wanted to give it some support to prevent further movement if it did start to move. But we didn't put that post into the ground. It simply set on a concrete pad on top of the ground. Recently, that tree's began to move. The pole is now leaning itself. And so I went by this morning, took some additional evidence. It looks like it's moved even since the last time I was there, roughly 6 months ago. The tree, health-wise, the foliage is in good condition. The tree is a remnant of what it used to be at one time. The central leader is gone, so there's just one primary limb off to the street side of the tree that's still viable. But it is in good condition from a health standpoint. The structural component is what has been compromised. There's decay throughout the trunk. There's decay in the base of the root system. I excavated around this morning. There are 2 to 3 significant roots that still run out towards the street side of the tree that are holding it up at this time, but it looks like that's beginning to fail, causing the tree to lean more. There are several options to consider. The support system could be installed, possibly to replace the brace post with a more permanent pole into the ground. That could be done using air excavation tools. It'd be a greater cost than what we had done in the past, so that would need some consideration there. But to put a post in that would be sturdy enough to support the entire weight of the tree. The tree's only about 14 feet tall at this point, so there's not a lot of leverage there. However, there is a significant amount of weight that goes out towards the street on that one limb. That could be reduced back with some slight pruning. A fence I would recommend if you are considering keeping the tree, put a fence. It could be a decorative rail fence or something there that would limit occupancy underneath the tree itself. When we look at tree risk, there are several factors. One is the condition of the tree. The other is the significance of the targets. Why our targets are humans, so it's the highest significance. And third is the frequency in which they're there. So if we can remove the targets from the impact zone of that tree, then we've eliminated the risk to those targets. So that is something to consider besides just removal. Removal is an option. Remove it, and I'd recommend possibly replacing it. This morning when I was there were several hundred small cedars coming up through the mulch, most likely progeny from this particular tree because it's producing seed. So there's options to even replant and support the tree and build a fence, or replant and remove the tree. Relocation was considered at one time. Relocation is probably the most expensive route to go. Without supporting the tree, I don't believe that relocation would be a viable option. The tree would fall during transit, so you're really, at some point, you're going to have to support the tree if you're going to keep it. Any questions?
What kind of expense are we talking about in terms of bracing and putting a fence around?
I don't have exact figures on that, but
Could you give us a ballpark?
yeah, I would imagine a fence for that area and a brace pole, $10,000 to $15,000, somewhere in that realm. I don't do fencing, so I'm speaking out of turn a bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying that there's cedars that are coming up, either from the roots or from seeds?
They are coming up from seeds. I dug some of those small cedars up as I was there excavating around the base to take some final numbers on the condition of the tree.
Okay, and is there a way that we can preserve those so we at least have a heritage of the heritage? Okay, I'm just asking because there's, obviously the tree as it is not a long-term viable alternative. We're gonna be back here again, I would assume, from what you're telling me. But if we could preserve something, historically, graphically, and the actual part of the tree itself, who knows, maybe we could end up with something like Rodney Hill did out here. And I was just wanted to look at a way we can capture something that's such a phenomenally long-lived historic part of Brazos County. It's been here longer than all of us, lots longer than all of us for lots of reasons, and that holding on to that, I think, is or some type of tribute to it, or the legacy of what it was. And then if we can grow some things from the seedlings that are there and keep that going, those types of things I think are great things to take a look at too.
So definitely, a couple of suggestions there. One, we did collect seed. Texas Forest Service collected seed a year ago, and we are growing some seedlings in our West Texas nursery. Yes, you can, what's growing there right now, you can even cordon off as simple as a small tomato cage of sorts to allow the seed, pick a few seedlings and let them grow as well. Definitely, those two are viable options. We've seen this happen with other historic trees in their demise, is that the community, then there's usually a historical commission that can take the wood and either commission a statue, or a statue in place, or a statue somewhere else. Sometimes we see knickknacks or something that are available to the public at large. So there's a lot of really great things you can do to honor that tree. And did you have something to add? Yeah, okay.
Okay. So yeah, this is, obviously if you deal with the historic trees around this area in the state of Texas, you can come up with some ideas for us. What's the best way for us as a commissioner's court to pursue what we want to do with this part of our legacy and history of Brazos County? Yeah,
so I would say get a solid partner like the Historical Commission that cares about history, and involve the public, because it's all of our tree. Everyone who lives here, we all care about it, and if we don't involve the public in the process at some point in time, they'll feel left out, and they would be left out. So those are the two guiding principles. I'd say get a strong partner like the Historical Commission, and be transparent in everything.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
We appreciate it.
Henry, y'all want
If you don't mind.
Sure.
Henry Mayo and Colleen Batchelor from the
Good morning.
Historic Commission. And yeah, I'm glad to hear there's a possibility that, you know, that the tree has some health to it, but also about the seedlings, because during the drought back in 08, 09, we had 4 or 5 of the trees growing to knee-high or bigger in pots, and tried to put them in the Boonville Cemetery, and they just didn't survive. So I'd like to see something at Boonville Heritage Park, if we could get something out there, something at a few different locations, so we have a better chance of that, besides whatever happens to the tree. But I also wanted to say that we want to ensure that all of the wood is used in a various ways, but we certainly don't want to throw any of it away. We could make everything from, you know, gavel-sized stuff to a tree ring timeline or something like that to put on display at the courthouse. Would be great. Colleen?
I'm mostly here to be supportive of this concept of preserving large parts of that tree. I mean, I consider myself almost a tree hugger, and I understand, though, when something has just reached the end of its natural lifespan. So there's no sense in postponing the inevitable if we have the wherewithal to do something productive with the tree that's there and to try to grow some seedlings. So we would appreciate, I mean, I'm a member of the Historical Commission, we would appreciate having the tree delivered, not physically, but put in the custody of the Historical Commission so that it doesn't go to mulch or something like that. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm glad that you mentioned, Mr. Mayo. I'm thinking like you, if we use those seedlings and put 1 or 2 at each site of Brazos County properties, that would help, I think, and we could do some other things. So thanks for sharing.
Yeah, I'm hoping now with the climate settled down a little bit that we can have better luck at Boonville, especially with all of the care that place gets, plus the new Heritage Park that is there now.
Exactly. Great ideas. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank y'all.
Thank you.
Okay, well, we'll put it on a future agenda to try to make a decision about what we'll do to move forward. So thank everyone for their input.
Thank you.
We'll consider and take action on agenda items 4 through 34. Number 4 is a proclamation 19-017 declaring April 1 through 7 as National Public Health Week. And
I move approval.
Second.
motion made, seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Santos, you want to come up and we'll read the proclamation and then you can opportunity. Whereas Brazos County Health District is celebrating the week of April 1 through 7, 2019 as National Public Health Week, and the theme is creating the healthiest nation for science, for action, for health, and whereas since 1995, the American Public Health Association, through sponsorship of the National Public Health Week, has educated the public, policymakers, and public health professionals about issues important to improving the public health. And whereas local policies that prioritize health can make a difference. Research shows that well-maintained sidewalks can encourage physical activity. Rates of preventable death, such as deaths from heart disease, diabetes, and cancer, typically go down in communities where local health spending goes up. And whereas violence prevention is a public health issue, work should continue in the local colleges and universities on ways to prevent sexual violence, such as offering bystander intervention training. Support should be given to the community-based strategies that would create the kinds of safe, stable, and nurturing environments that would help prevent child abuse and neglect. And whereas the new technologies are quickly transforming the public health landscape, public health technology to rapidly detect, trace, and contain disease outbreaks. And in the health departments across the country, workers have taken social media to educate, advocate within their local communities. And whereas climate change is a threat to public health and is already producing serious impacts on people's health and well-being, climate change is linked to more frequent and extreme natural disasters such as hurricanes, flooding, and drought. Is expected to negatively impact food security, water, air quality, and exacerbates the risk of vector-borne diseases such as West Nile virus. And whereas continued support should be given to the U.S. global health efforts, which have helped countries to scale their emergency and medical countermeasure capacities, which means the world is better prepared to stop outbreaks before they spread. The Commissioners Court of Brazos County does hereby proclaim the week of April 1 through 7, 2019 as National Public Health Week 2019 and calls for the residents of Brazos County to observe this week by helping everyone to better understand the value of public health and adopt preventative health lifestyle habits in light of this year's theme, creating the healthiest nation for science, for action, and for health. Proclaim this day, the second day of April 2019 by Brazos County Commission.
Thank you, Judge. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Judge Commissioners Court, for that proclamation. We already did some action this past weekend. We had our first annual Celebrate Your Health event at the Health District. Even though our numbers were small, we had a lot of participation from other organizations such as 211, Blue Cross Blue Shield. We also had St. Joseph's Hospital out there. Lions Club, College Station News Lions Club went out there, did some vision screening for us. We did blood pressure checks and so forth. We also had support from the City of Bryan Fire Department. The kids really loved the fire truck, getting on the fire truck and getting a little fire hat to put on. That really motivated the kids. We also had a couple motorcycle cops out there, one from City of Bryan, one from College Station. The kids really liked to get on top of the motorcycles and get their picture taken. We also had a way to show folks how to properly sanitize by having a hand washing station there also. But we plan on this being an annual event, so we're going to continue to grow it. We've got some plans for a fall event. We're already planning for a fall event. So this is National Public Health Week, and help us celebrate National Public Health Week. We've got some events going on at the Health District. We've got $5 water testing for private wells. They can bring in their samples and we'll test them for $5. We've got STI tested for $10. We've got HIV, Hep C testing at no cost. We've got immunization for kids that have no insurance at no cost. So there's a lot of events that are going on this week at the Health District. So make sure that you get the word out so people can take advantage of the services we have to offer at the Health District. And again, I want to thank y'all for doing this proclamation for us. Any questions about Public Health Week?
Santos?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I had the opportunity to come out and tour the event, looked at all of the preparations that have been made, the Lions Club, the screenings and all those things, and wanted to compliment you on a well-run event. Hopefully it will continue to be a bigger and better way for us to celebrate our health here in Brazos County.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think we voted on that, correct?
Yes.
We did. Okay, number 5 is proclamation 19-022 recognizing April as Sexual Assault Awareness Month.
Move approval.
Second?
Motion made, seconded, discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Do we have? Okay. Whereas the effects of sexual assault go far beyond the physical and victims often develop a number of psychological conditions such as post-traumatic stress disorder and depression affecting families, friends, and Texas communities, spurring fear, anger, and a sense of vulnerability. And whereas few survivors of sexual violence seek help immediately after victimization due to the shame or fear of not being believed. To end sexual assault, we must alleviate these fears and begin by believing. And whereas, as members of a caring society, members of the community across the state of Texas must unite to remove the stigma of rape, and the Brazos Valley community must continue to dialogue, starting with the Sexual Assault Resource Center in their places of work, schools, and homes. And whereas each year the month of April provides the opportunity for Sexual Assault Resource Center and rape crisis centers across the state to renew their commitment to serve their communities. Educational efforts are also intensified, which ensures that Texans are aware of the sexual assault services available in their area. And now therefore, we as the Commissioners Court of Brazos County do hereby designate April 2019 as Sexual Assault Awareness and Prevention Month in Brazos County.
Thank you so much, Commissioners and Judge. We really appreciate having the opportunity to come out and talk about Sexual Assault Awareness Month. So this month is all about getting the conversation started around sexual assault and sexual violence in our communities. Nationwide, sexual violence affects 1 in 6 men and 1 in 3 women. We know that those numbers are reflected in our own community as the Sexual Assault Resource Center. We are seeing clients on a daily basis who have been affected by sexual violence at various stages in their life, from all different walks of life, with many different stories. And so this month is all about making sure that we're talking about this issue, that we're providing education and prevention around this issue. And so that's what the Sexual Assault Resource Center is doing. We're partnering with many entities in the community, from Texas A&M to our various PDs and sheriff's offices, to the DA's office, to other social services organizations in our area, all in an attempt to make sure that our community has the resources that they need to both prevent assaults and heal from them if they do occur. So we really appreciate the opportunity to come out. Thank you so much for letting us have this opportunity to start the conversation. And please check out SARG's Facebook, because we'll be sharing events in our community around sexual assault throughout the month. So if you'd like to get involved or to learn more about Sexual Assault Awareness Month, please just check out our Facebook or our website, and you can find that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Jennifer. Thank you.
I had a note here that a photo was requested. Did you want to take?
If that's all right, but we can
Sure.
also.
I mean,
Yeah, that'd be great. Okay, awesome.
it'd be fine. We
All of the above?
Yeah.
Should I
Okay.
just come down here?
Yeah, that'll work. Let's go down there and take a picture.
Thank you so much.
We're coming down?
Oh, well, we can have
We're
layers, or
coming
you can
down.
come down. Thank you. Thank you. Let's take one with you. Okay.
1, 2, 3. Beautiful. Okay.
And then, yeah, if you don't mind, one with Taylor. We just work for different organizations, so I think both of us would, she works for Texas A&M, but we work very closely together, so.
Okay, you ready? 1, 2, 3.
And maybe one with this Taylor. Yeah, just so you guys have it. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Thank you for your patience.
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We really thank you. That a lot.
Thank you for what you do.
Okay, I think we voted on that, correct? All right, number 6 is proclamation 19-023, declaring April 27, 2019 as the TOPS Day.
I move approval.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
And,
None
and
motion.
with that, may
Sure.
I share that I serve on the prenatal clinic board. Saturday, April 26th, the day of the proclamation, there is a luncheon. It's the You're the Tops luncheon. It benefits the prenatal clinic. Tickets are $50 each, and it's open, and they're asking for public support.
Where is the luncheon?
The luncheon is at the College Station Hilton, starts at 11:30, and it's always very lots of information, and very, very entertaining. The honorees are here, if you'd like to. You've been honored, right?
I have.
And I've been honored, and you guys been, no?
My
Okay.
my spouse has been honored.
That's true.
Lisa has been honored.
That's true, you're right. So, please support.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner. Number 7 is Resolution 19-011, authorizing submission of grant application for the Brazos County Specialty Court.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made, seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 8, Resolution 19-012, in support of Federal Qualified Health Center and Federally Qualified Health Center look-alike application by the Texas A&M Health Science Center.
Move approval.
Second.
I have a question.
Okay.
Is this in support of their residency program? Is there
It's-
someone here to talk about it?
I'm on that board, and the residents.
FQHC board
Yeah,
for Texas A&M?
I'm on the board of this organization, which is FQHC. It's a,
Health Point?
no, it's not Health Point. This is Dickey's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I think we got a motion and a second, but I don't think there's been action. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries.
And in answer to your question, residents, the students are used, but it's not their program.
Okay.
Is it
Number
through Health Fair?
Number 9 is reappointment
No,
of following
it's a separate organization.
Homeland Security Advisory Committee for the period 4/1/2019 to 3/31/2020.
Move approval A through O.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 10 is permission to advertise RFP CIP 19-561 voice over IP phone system replacement.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None motion carries. Number 11 is approval of donation of 130.22 tons of limestone-based material from Statewide Materials.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
With
Opposed?
appreciation.
Yes.
None motion carries. Number 12 is approved to issue the County Diners Club credit card to Marcia Anderson with the limit of $1,000 for training classes, conferences, and hotel reservations.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 13 is approval of interlocal agreement between Brazos County and Collin County.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 14 is approval of contract 19-106 for pallet pickup recommended award for Tritex grass.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? None motion carries. Number 15 is approval of agreement 19-129 with Best Western Premier for District Attorney's Office.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 16 is approval of service contract CIP 19-523 with Garland DBS Inc. for loading dock panel repair for Brazos Center in the amount of $11,962.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 17 is approval of CIP 19-613 to Alpha Omega Wireless Inc. for the installation of wireless internet at the local Department of Motor Vehicles for Brazos County employee who is stationed there for cost installation, and that needs to be corrected. This should be $2,772.19.
Repeat that number again.
$2,772.19.
Okay, thank you. Move approval with the correction.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 18 is approval of purchase for a 2019 Dodge Charger Police Interceptor to replace Constable Precinct 2 Unit 708 in the amount of $24,370.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 19 is award of IQ 19-068 truck scale maintenance. Recommended vendor is Abbott Michele Technologies, Inc.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 20 is purchasing request Commissioners Court to declare the attached list of surplus property as salvage in accordance with Local Government Code 263.152 and authorize the destruction or other means of disposal for the items.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 21 is contract with Eastland County for provisions of pre-adjudication detention services.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 22 is consider and take action on the Bryan, Texas utility cost estimate of $24,263.08 for the relocation of three-phase electric line consisting of 4 poles with guys anchors on Dick Elliott Road. This work would be needed to accommodate bridge installation sites located in Precinct 2.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made, seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 23 is consider take action on the Bryan, Texas utility cost estimate of $25,928.03 for the relocation of three-phase electric line consisting of 5 poles with guys and anchors on Dick Elliott Road. This work is needed to order to accommodate a bridge installation site located in Precinct 2.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made, seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 24 is consider and take action on the Bryan, Texas utility cost estimate of $14,596.24 for the relocation of a single-phase electric line consisting of 6 poles with guys and anchors on Jack Manning Road. This work is needed in order to accommodate the installation of a bridge site located in Precinct 2.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 25 is consider and take action on Hawkwood Energy utility permit to construct a 70-foot road bore for a 4-inch pipeline crossing under House Cemetery Road, 1,355 feet southwest of FM 974, sites located in Precinct 2.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made, seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 26 is rescind action taken on March 26, 2019 to approve personnel action form from the Road and Bridge Department.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 27 is a request from Caitlin Abney for a tax refund of penalty and interest due to the United States Post Office error. And
This is the one we removed last week.
Yeah.
and this one, unfortunately, I don't believe it qualifies.
Okay. I thought we were going to.
Here's the problem. In the state law, we can forgive penalty and interest if it is mailed to the right place in a timely fashion. And she provided us a copy of the envelope, but the envelope that is the copy of, it doesn't have where it was mailed to. It's got the window in there where maybe a check was in it that would have had the address on it. And it says, but that's not in there, so you really can't tell what the address was. But it says return to sender, unable to forward, which would seem like potentially maybe it was mailed over to the old place, which if that's the case, it would not qualify. If we had a copy of where that address was, and if it was in fact the correct address that the tax office is at today, then I think it would qualify. But there's not enough documentation to fit the law. I mean,
And somebody else wrote in Christie Rowe.
Yes, it looks like it may have been returned twice. I really can't tell, but but without the actual address where it was mailed to, we can't tell that it was.
It did say returned twice, so she got it returned and then she put it back in the mail and it still came back, so.
Well, and she said it was mailed to the correct address, but we don't have the documentation. I mean, for us, we need to follow the law.
Right. So not having the documentation, would this be subject to review once again
I
if the
would think so.
appropriate documentation were provided?
If she provided us the check or whatever was in that envelope with that address, and if
Correct.
it's the correct address, I think it meets. I think it'd be okay. That's really what we lack is, so, I mean, we have to follow the law.
So do we
and
want
the
it
law
to-
says if they mail it to the correct address and it was postmarked, and this is postmarked, the postmark's fine, it's just that we don't know for sure that we can't put in our documentation that it was mailed to the correct address. And I know she said she mailed it to the correct address. If she can provide us with the check that was inside of that, with a correct address, then I think we can review it, in another week, and I think we could forgive those.
So I think move to table,
Well, actually,
because it's
we
it's a request to refund the tax refund and.
We can deny
I
it.
would say remove it or deny it.
Deny
and then
it.
come back, because if she doesn't ever provide it, then it's tabled and we have it on the next agenda without
Yeah,
anything.
I would
Okay.
suggest we
I guess
deny it.
Okay,
That's
so-
kind of what I would think. We deny it based on what we've got right now.
Yeah,
If she can provide us the evidence that we can
Then you
feel
put it back
comfortable
on
that
the agenda.
it meets the law, then Counselor, do you think that would be
Yes, sir.
okay.
then that's what I would recommend. Based on the evidence we've got today, I think it has to be denied, but if more evidence is provided that would prove that it was actually mailed to the correct address, I think we can readdress it. That's the way I would say it.
so are you making a motion, Judge?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, motion's made to deny based on current documentation. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. And the second one, well, let's see, that's number
Request.
28 is request from Larry and Judy Nix for a tax refund of penalty and interest due to lack of timely notification issues in the data recording process at the Brazos County Appraisal District. This one looks like it does meet the law. They sold their property and transferred it, and what I believe the law says, once it's filed over the county clerk's office, there really doesn't have to be anything as far as the landowner to have to do anything else. Then the appraisal district picks up that information from the county clerk's office. And so that happened. It was all, went through the county clerk's office in a timely fashion. I'm not sure what happened, but the appraisal district didn't pick up that piece of property in their records, and so there was not a notification sent. But that looks like it fits, because there's a caveat in the law that says that, you know, that if it's done in a timely fashion to the county clerk's office, and it was, that part of it was, that that the penalty and interest can be forgiven on it. I mean, so
I move to approve.
Yeah, second.
Okay, motion made and seconded to approve this refund request. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 29 is expenditure journal entries FY 18/19, 030096 through 030098.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 30 is tax refund applications for the following.
I
These are all
move
refunds.
approval A through F.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 31 is Commissioners Court minutes for the following dates.
Move approval A through D.
Second. Motion made and seconded. A through D. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 32 is budget amendments. Budget amendments FY 18/19, 27.1 through 27.8.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made, seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 33 is personnel change status.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made, seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 34 is payment of claims. Claims to be paid by Brazos County, claim number 801-3571 through claim number 801-3810.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion made, seconded. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None motion carries. Number 35 is the acknowledgment of the Brazos Valley Economic Development Corporation financial statements for the year ended September 30, 2018. Number 36 is Juvenile Director's Report on Detention Population. Linda.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. We have 28 youth in detention at the present time, 21 males, 7 females. No contract or out-of-county kids are in right now. And we have 21 youth on electronic monitors.
Okay. Thank you, Linda. 37 is Sheriff's Report on Inmate Population. Sheriff.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Beautiful spring day.
Yep.
This is going to surprise you. 619.
Oh, good.
You must open the doors or something.
Let them out to get the spring air.
I know what happened.
What we did was move a backlog of paper-ready inmates to prison.
Great. Oh, I thought it was the tire amnesty work group.
They decided they won't be in jail anymore after that work.
534 males, 85 females. Yeah, 619. That's a good number.
That is a very good number.
All right, so we have 49 with electronic monitor and 12 pending.
Okay. Thanks, Sheriff. That's
Thank
good
you.
news.
Yeah.
Number 38 is announcement of interest items and possible agenda topics.
Carl has something.
Judge, Commissioners, I just want to let everyone know that the Diamond Dirt Barrel Horse Classic is going on at the Expo. This is one of our major events throughout the year. We'll be there the entire week. We've got over 450 horses there, and they're actually running for over $1 million in cash and prizes. So
Wow.
if you're an enthusiast or you just want to come see some good barrel racing, it's a good deal. They'll be there the entire week, all the way through Sunday.
Thank you.
Carl.
Thank you. May I acknowledge that the Spring Tire Amnesty Day was a great success. And I'd like to give a hand to Sheriff Chris Kirk and the work crew, the jail work crew work. You know, they started out in white uniforms. I don't know if you saw the pictures, but they didn't leave in white uniforms. One guy's face was even black. I mean, they worked hard. And they did a fantastic job, Sheriff. Now, we have some improvements that we're going to ask for. But let me thank everybody. That's the jail work crew. There were 8, and their supervisors. We thank TCEQ for the grant and the opportunity to do some cleanup in Brazos County. The Brazos Valley Keep Brazos Beautiful organization, Carl, we could not have done it without Brazos Expo staff and the leadership of Carl. The Brazos Valley area alumni, we reached out for volunteers this time, so the Deltas came to the rescue and did a fantastic job. The purchasing department, we thank them, and all of you commissioners and judge for allowing us to have the opportunity to provide the service to the public. I am so happy and proud to announce that we had 3 times as many tires this event than we had in the fall. In the fall, we had about 1,200 tires. This event, we are still counting at 3,000 tires. Wow. So we thank you all. We thank you. Even though I had to do traffic detail, I'm safe and I made it. Thank you all. It was a great success, and everybody that came was appreciative to the opportunity and suggested that we do it again. Now, I haven't found any money, so I'm not announcing anything, but it was recommended that we, even though we had 45 minutes of waiting down Leonard Road, they were still very appreciative. And I thank you all.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner, for your leadership on this. It's really appreciated.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah. And,
Yeah, Carl, that's
Hey, Judge, I want to tag along on her comment and give a shout out to the Sheriff's Department. We've had the last 3 weeks at the expo, we have been back to back to back.
Yes.
And I've had extra crews, and even this past Sunday night, we had an all-night crew from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., cleaned out over 300 stalls. And that was the only way that we could get ready for this Barrel Horse Classic that's come. So I really appreciate the work that they do. We couldn't do it at the expo without them.
Well, there definitely wouldn't be a Tire Amnesty Day without those guys.
They're happy to do it.
And, you know, you say that, but when you see those guys working, you know that they do appreciate the opportunity, and they are so courteous, and really they perfected the storing of the tires. They packed that first trailer. By 1 o'clock, it was tight as a drum and moving out. So we had 2 hours of just load them, leave them.
How many truckloads did you have of tires?
Well, we're working on 2 more truckloads. If if purchasing will come through for me, and I'm afraid to look at them because they might be throwing things at me, but we started with one trailer. It was full by 1 o'clock, and moving back to the recycling barn, and we stayed until, actually, we had a couple of people that come in at 3:01. So we took all we could.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner.
Thank
And thank
you all.
everybody that was involved, Sheriff's
Thank
Office,
you.
Expo, everybody that was involved. Thank you for your leadership on that. 39 is call for citizens' input and/or concerns. And I would like to mention that Commissioner Cawley, looks like you got appointed to the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Animal Plant Health Inspection Services National Wildlife Services Advisory Committee for a 2-year term by Sonny Perdue, the Secretary of the Department of Agriculture. So,
Yes, sir, I did. And that's my second appointment.
really? Okay, good.
To this court?
Yes, to this court. It's my second appointment to this
All
court.
right. Well, congratulations on that, too.
Thank you, thank you.
Any other citizen input or concern? Hearing none, we'll adjourn. Thank y'all.
Yeah.
Hey.